Welcome to the frontier of personal health optimization, where cutting-edge science meets accessible self-experimentation. This is biohacking, the systematic approach to enhancing your physical performance, cognitive function, and longevity through evidence-based interventions. I'm Keith Baxter, and in this comprehensive guide, we'll navigate the transformative world of biohacking together. Whether you're looking to boost your energy, sharpen your mind, or extend your health span, the techniques we'll explore today will empower you to take control of your biology and unlock your body's full potential. We'll start with the fundamental building blocks that form the foundation of effective biohacking: sleep optimization, nutritional strategies, and movement protocols. Then, we'll advance to more sophisticated modalities like thermal stress adaptation, biometric tracking, and targeted supplementation for cellular health. The biohacking journey is deeply personal. What works for one individual may not work for another. Throughout this guide, we'll emphasize the importance of self-experimentation, data-driven decision-making, and gradual implementation to help you develop a customized approach that aligns with your unique biology and goals. So if you're ready to upgrade your health, performance, and quality of life through science-backed strategies and careful self-experimentation, let's begin your biohacking journey. Before we dive into specific biohacking techniques, let's establish a clear understanding of what biohacking actually means and how it has evolved into the movement we see today. Biohacking refers to the systematic optimization of human biology through targeted interventions in diet, lifestyle, and technology. Unlike conventional healthcare, which often focuses primarily on treating disease after it occurs, biohacking emphasizes preventive enhancement of physical and mental capabilities. The practice operates on three core principles. First, self-experimentation, the process of testing different approaches on yourself to determine what works best for your unique biology. Second, data-driven decision-making using quantifiable metrics rather than subjective feelings to evaluate the effectiveness of various interventions. And third, holistic health optimization, addressing the interconnected systems of the body rather than isolated symptoms or functions. A common misconception positions biohacking as a radical or dangerous pursuit practiced by fringe groups. However, most biohackers focus on incremental improvements using scientifically validated methods. For example, tracking sleep patterns with wearable devices or adjusting nutritional intake based on genetic predispositions represents mainstream biohacking applications that are both safe and effective when implemented properly. This distinguishes mainstream biohacking from extreme grinder subcultures that pursue cybernetic enhancements, which constitute a small minority within the broader movement. Biohacking refers to the systematic optimization of human biology through targeted interventions in diet, lifestyle, and technology. Unlike conventional healthcare, which often focuses primarily on treating disease after it occurs, biohacking emphasizes preventive enhancement of physical and mental capabilities. The practice operates on three core principles. First, self-experimentation, the process of testing different approaches on yourself to determine what works best for your unique biology. Second, data-driven decision-making using quantifiable metrics rather than subjective feelings to evaluate the effectiveness of various interventions. And third, holistic health optimization, addressing the interconnected systems of the body rather than isolated symptoms or functions. A common misconception positions biohacking as a radical or dangerous pursuit practiced by fringe groups. However, most biohackers focus on incremental improvements using scientifically validated methods. For example, tracking sleep patterns with wearable devices or adjusting nutritional intake based on genetic predispositions represents mainstream biohacking applications that are both safe and effective when implemented properly. This distinguishes mainstream biohacking from extreme grinder subcultures that pursue cybernetic enhancements, which constitute a small minority within the broader movement. This fusion addresses contemporary health challenges exacerbated by sedentary lifestyles, processed diets, and environmental stressors. Modern biohackers employ methods ranging from simple behavioral adjustments to sophisticated biomarker analysis, all aimed at compensating for evolutionary mismatches in our modern environments. By understanding these foundational principles in historical context, you'll be better equipped to navigate the biohacking landscape and determine which approaches align with your personal health philosophy and goals. Now that we understand the principles behind biohacking, let's explore the fundamental pillars that form the foundation of any effective biohacking practice. These core elements, sleep optimization, nutritional biohacking, and movement protocols, should be prioritized before advancing to more complex modalities. Sleep constitutes the cornerstone of effective biohacking, influencing everything from metabolic health to cognitive performance. During sleep, your body activates critical repair mechanisms, including glymphatic system clearance of neural toxins and muscle tissue regeneration. For beginners, there are 3 key areas to focus on when optimizing sleep. First, circadian rhythm alignment. Exposure to natural light within 30 minutes of waking resets your melatonin production cycles, while minimizing blue light exposure after sunset preserves sleep quality. This simple practice can dramatically improve both sleep onset and quality. Second, sleep environment engineering. Maintaining bedroom temperatures between 60-67 degrees Fahrenheit or 15.6-19.4 degrees Celsius and using blackout curtains can increase deep sleep duration by up to 30%. Creating the optimal physical environment for sleep is one of the highest leverage biohacks available. Third, consistency protocols. Adhering to fixed sleep-wake times synchronizes your body's ultradian rhythms, enhancing sleep efficiency even when total duration varies. Your body thrives on predictable patterns, particularly when it comes to sleep. Emerging research highlights the importance of sleep architecture tracking through devices like the Oura Ring or Whoop, which quantify time spent in restorative REM and slow-wave sleep stages. For those struggling with sleep onset, diaphragmatic breathing techniques demonstrating a 4-7-8 pattern, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds, have shown efficacy in reducing cortisol levels by 18 to 25%. Biohacking nutrition emphasizes personalized approaches informed by metabolic typing and genetic predispositions. Unlike generic dietary advice, nutritional biohacking recognizes that individual responses to foods can vary dramatically based on genetics, gut microbiome composition, and activity levels. Key strategies include intermittent fasting. The 16-8 method, which involves a 16-hour fasting window followed by an 8-hour eating window, stimulates autophagy, a cellular cleanup process that degrades dysfunctional components. Studies indicate that even 12-hour nightly fasts can boost mitochondrial biogenesis by 15 to 20%, enhancing cellular energy production. Macronutrient cycling. Aligning carbohydrate intake with physical activity levels prevents insulin spikes during sedentary periods while fueling high-intensity workouts when needed. This strategic approach to macronutrients supports metabolic flexibility, your body's ability to efficiently use both carbohydrates and fats as fuel sources. Phytonutrient optimization. Consuming 6 to 8 servings of polyphenol-rich foods daily, such as berries, dark leafy greens, and cruciferous vegetables, upregulates endogenous antioxidant production via the NRF2 pathway activation. These plant compounds provide benefits far beyond their basic nutritional profiles. Contrary to restrictive dieting paradigms, effective nutritional biohacking focuses on food quality sequencing, prioritizing nutrient-dense whole foods before addressing caloric intake. This approach ensures micronutrient sufficiency while avoiding metabolic adaptation plateaus that often occur with calorie-focused approaches. Physical activity biohacks balance strength training, cardiovascular conditioning, and recovery protocols to optimize both performance and longevity. Effective movement strategies include resistance training, 3 weekly sessions of compound lifts such as squats, deadlifts, and presses at 70-85% of your 1-rep maximum intensity preserve lean muscle mass and bone density, which are critical for longevity. These functional movements provide benefits that isolated exercises cannot match. Zone-based cardio. Distributing weekly exercise across different heart rate zones optimizes cardiovascular adaptation. For example, allocating 60% of cardio training to moderate intensity zones, approximately 106-159 beats per minute for most adults, enhances VO2 max without excessive oxidative stress. Grounding practices. Barefoot outdoor walking facilitates electron transfer from the Earth's surface, reducing systemic inflammation markers like IL-6 by 20-30%. This ancestral practice reconnects us with the natural electrical properties of the Earth's surface. Novice biohackers should prioritize movement variability over specialization, incorporating elements of yoga, primal movement patterns, and low-intensity, steady-state activities to prevent overuse injuries and develop well-rounded physical capabilities. By focusing on these foundational elements, optimizing sleep, personalizing nutrition, and implementing strategic movement practices, you'll establish a robust platform for more advanced biohacking interventions. Remember, without these fundamentals in place, more complex biohacks are unlikely to deliver their full potential benefits. Once you've established the foundational elements of biohacking, you can begin exploring more advanced modalities to further enhance your physical and mental performance. These techniques leverage hormetic stress, beneficial amounts of stress that trigger adaptive responses in the body, and technological tools to provide deeper insights into your physiological processes. Controlled exposure to extreme temperatures activates powerful stress responses that enhance resilience across multiple biological systems. These practices include cold therapy. The Wim Hof method combines cold immersion, 50-59 degree or 10-15 degree C water, with cyclic hyperventilation to stimulate norepinephrine production, increasing levels by up to 300%, and activate brown adipose tissue, which generates heat by burning fat. For beginners, start with 30-second cold showers, gradually increasing exposure to 2 to 3 minutes daily as your cold tolerance develops. Sauna protocols, infrared sauna sessions at 175-195 degree F, 80-90 degree IC, for 15-20 minutes improve endothelial function by 35 to 40%, with cardiovascular benefits comparable to moderate intensity exercise. Regular sauna use has been associated with reduced all-cause mortality, improved heart health, and enhanced recovery from exercise. These thermal stress practices upregulate heat shock proteins and cold shock proteins, molecular chaperones that repair cellular damage and enhance stress tolerance. The key principle here is hormesis, strategic exposure to mild stressors that trigger beneficial adaptations throughout the body's systems. Quantified self-technologies enable real-time optimization of biohacking interventions by providing objective data about your physiological states. Key metrics to track include heart rate variability, HRV, morning HRV measurements via tools like Elite HRV or Whoop provide insight into autonomic nervous system balance, guiding training intensity and recovery needs. Optimal HRV scores correlate with 22% faster injury recovery times in athletes and indicate overall resilience to stressors. Continuous glucose monitoring, CGM. Devices like Levels or NutriSense reveal individual glycemic responses to different foods and activities, allowing personalized nutrition adjustments that stabilize energy and cognitive function throughout the day. Even non-diabetic individuals can gain valuable insights from observing their blood glucose patterns. Neurofeedback systems, tools such as Muse headbands and HeartMath M-Wave train users to maintain coherent brainwave patterns, particularly 40 Hz gamma waves associated with peak cognitive performance and focus. Regular practice can enhance attention, reduce stress, and improve emotional regulation. These tools transform subjective experiences into actionable data, enabling iterative refinement of your biohacking protocols. The most powerful aspect of biometric tracking is the personalization it enables, revealing which interventions are truly effective for your unique biology, rather than relying on population-based averages. When implementing advanced biohacking modalities, remember to introduce one new practice at a time. Establish a clear baseline before starting and systematically track results. This methodical approach will help you identify which advanced techniques provide the greatest return on investment for your specific health goals. As biohacking continues to evolve, increasing attention is being directed toward interventions that may extend not just lifespan, but health span, the period of life spent in good health. These longevity-focused strategies target the fundamental mechanisms of aging at the cellular and molecular levels. Evidence-based supplementation targets aging hallmarks like mitochondrial dysfunction and telomere attrition. While the supplement marketplace is filled with questionable products, certain compounds have demonstrated promising effects in scientific research. NAD+ precursors, nicotinamide riboside, NR, and nicotinamide mononucleotide, NMN, taken at doses of 250-500 milliliter daily, boost NAD+ levels by 40-60%, supporting DNA repair and sirtuin activation. NAD+ is a critical coenzyme that declines with age and plays essential roles in energy metabolism and cellular repair processes. Senolytics, compounds like fisetin, found in strawberries at 100 milliliters daily, and quercetin, found in apples and onions at 500 milliliters daily, may help clear senescent cells, zombie-like cells that accumulate with age and secrete inflammatory compounds. Reducing the senescent cell burden may decrease age-related inflammation. Adaptogens, herbs such as rhodiola rosea, 200-400 milliliters standardized to 3% salidroside, enhance stress resilience by modulating hypothalamic pituitary adrenal HPA axis activity, potentially mitigating the negative effects of chronic stress on aging processes. While comprehensive supplementation protocols like Brian Johnson's 600-month blueprint stack demonstrate the upper end of this approach, beginners should prioritize 3-5 core compounds with strong evidence bases before expanding their regimen. Start with fundamentals like vitamin D, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids before advancing to more specialized compounds. Emerging longevity biohacks target gene expression and epigenetic patterns, the modifications that determine which genes are active or silenced. Methylation support, nutrients like betaine, 1,3-G daily, and methylfolate, 400-800 mcg daily, help maintain DNA methylation patterns crucial for proper gene regulation. These methyl donors support biochemical processes that become less efficient with age. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, HBOT, cyclic 60-minute sessions at 2.0 ATA pressure have been shown in preliminary research to increase telomere length by 20-38% in leukocytes, potentially reversing certain aspects of cellular aging. While HBOT requires specialized equipment, it represents an emerging frontier in longevity research. Time-restricted eating, aligning feeding windows with circadian biology, e.g., limiting food intake to a 10 a.m. 6 p.m. window, upregulates longevity-associated genes like SIRD1 and AMPK. This approach combines the benefits of intermittent fasting with chronobiology, the science of biological timing systems. While these approaches show promise, their long-term efficacy requires further clinical validation. The field of longevity science is rapidly evolving with new discoveries emerging regularly. As a biohacker focused on longevity, maintaining a critical but open-minded perspective on these interventions is essential. The key principle in longevity biohacking is compounding benefits. Small improvements across multiple systems add up to significant enhancements in health span. By systematically addressing the core mechanisms of aging through evidence-based interventions, you can potentially extend not just how long you live, but how well you live throughout your lifespan. As empowering as biohacking can be, responsible practice requires awareness of potential risks and ethical considerations. In this section, we'll explore how to approach biohacking safely and ethically while mitigating common pitfalls. Responsible biohacking mandates several safety measures, baseline biomarker testing, before implementing significant biohacking protocols, establish reference points through comprehensive blood panels, including complete blood count, lipid profile, HbA1c, and other relevant markers. These baseline measurements allow you to objectively assess the impact of your interventions. Gradual implementation. Introduce one biohack weekly to isolate effects and identify potential adverse reactions. This methodical approach helps you determine which interventions are beneficial for your unique biology and prevents overwhelm. Professional oversight: consult functional medicine practitioners or appropriate healthcare providers when implementing advanced protocols like prolonged fasting or nootropic stacks. Expert guidance becomes increasingly important as you venture into more complex biohacking territories. Common pitfalls in the biohacking journey include oversupplementation. Excessive intake of fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, K, can cause toxicity at 5 to 10 times the recommended dietary allowance levels. More is not always better when it comes to supplements, and proper dosing is critical. Orthosomnia: the paradoxical condition where obsessive sleep tracking actually increases insomnia risk through performance anxiety. Remember that tracking tools are means to an end, not the end itself. Hormetic overreach: exceeding individual stress thresholds with cold, heat exposure, or other hormetic stressors can trigger immunosuppression and adrenal fatigue. Hormesis follows a U-shaped curve. Too little stress provides no adaptation, while too much causes harm. Effective mitigation strategies involve cyclical implementation, 6 to 8 weeks on, 2-4 weeks off for intensive protocols, and regular biomarker reassessment to ensure interventions are delivering their intended benefits without unintended consequences. Beyond personal safety, considerate biohackers maintain awareness of broader ethical implications. Environmental impacts: consider the ecological footprint of biohacking practices, particularly regarding supplement packaging, electronic device disposal, and resource consumption. Sustainable biohacking aligns personal health with planetary health, accessibility, and inclusivity. Acknowledge that many biohacking tools require financial resources and privilege. Share knowledge freely and, when possible, highlight low-cost alternatives to expensive biohacking modalities. Expectation management: maintain realistic expectations about outcomes and timeframes. Effective biohacking requires patience, consistency, and individualization. There are no universal hacks that work identically for everyone. By approaching biohacking with this ethical framework and safety mindset, you'll develop a sustainable practice that enhances your well-being while respecting both personal boundaries and broader societal considerations. Now that we've explored the landscape of biohacking from foundational practices to advanced modalities, it's time to develop your personalized protocol. In this section, we'll provide a framework for creating a biohacking approach tailored to your unique biology, goals, and lifestyle. Begin by conducting a comprehensive assessment of your current health status. Subjective metrics: rate your energy levels, cognitive function, sleep quality, stress resilience, and overall well-being on a scale of 1 to 10. These self-assessments provide valuable baseline information about your perceived health. Objective metrics: gather quantifiable data through blood work, body composition measurements, performance tests, and wearable device readings. These objective markers will help you track progress beyond subjective improvements. Next, establish clear, specific goals using the SMART framework. Goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Performance goals: examples include increasing workout capacity, improving cognitive performance, or enhancing productivity metrics. Health markers: target specific biomarkers like HbA1c levels, inflammatory markers, or lipid profiles that you aim to optimize. Quality of life: define improvements in sleep quality, stress management, energy stability, or other aspects of daily well-being. By clarifying both where you are and where you want to go, you create the necessary context for selecting appropriate biohacking interventions. Not all biohacks deliver equal returns on investment, ROI, for the time, energy, and resources required. Prioritize interventions using these criteria: impact, potential. Focus first on biohacks addressing your weakest links or areas with the greatest potential for improvement. If sleep is your primary issue, prioritize sleep optimization before advancing to more complex interventions. Implementation ease: begin with interventions that integrate seamlessly into your current lifestyle before tackling those requiring significant habit changes or time commitments. Evidence strength. Prioritize biohacks with robust scientific support over those with primarily anecdotal evidence, particularly when you're just starting your biohacking journey. For most beginners, the highest ROI interventions typically include sleep environment optimization, time-restricted eating, daily movement integration, stress management practices, nutritional fundamentals. As you build this foundation, you can gradually incorporate more specialized biohacks aligned with your specific goals. Effective biohacking requires systematic tracking and regular protocol refinement. Implementation tracking. Record your adherence to planned interventions using habit tracking apps or journals. Consistency often matters more than intensity in biohacking. Outcome tracking. Regularly measure the health markers and performance metrics relevant to your goals. Establish a consistent testing schedule, whether weekly, monthly, or quarterly, depending on the metric. Correlation analysis. Look for patterns between specific interventions and changes in your tracked metrics. This analysis helps identify which biohacks are truly moving the needle for your biology. Based on this data, refine your protocol through retention. Keep interventions showing clear benefits. Elimination. Remove practices showing no measurable impact after adequate trial periods. Modification. Adjust the implementation of promising biohacks to optimize their effects. Addition. Strategically introduce new biohacks based on your evolving goals and current results. Remember that biohacking is fundamentally a process of personalized experimentation. What works remarkably well for others may have minimal impact for you, and vice versa. The most successful biohackers maintain curiosity, patience, and methodical persistence in discovering their unique, optimal formula. As we conclude our exploration of biohacking fundamentals, let's look ahead to emerging trends and technologies that promise to reshape the landscape of personal health optimization in the coming years. Several cutting-edge developments are expanding the frontiers of what's possible in biohacking. Continuous biomarker monitoring, beyond glucose, wearable devices capable of tracking hormones, inflammatory markers, and metabolites in real time are being developed. These technologies will provide unprecedented visibility into how lifestyle interventions affect your biochemistry moment by moment. Precision microbiome modulation. As gut microbiome science advances, highly personalized probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics tailored to individual microbiome profiles will enable targeted optimization of this crucial system that influences everything from immunity to neurotransmitter production. Exogenous ketones and metabolic switches, advanced formulations that rapidly shift metabolic states, are evolving beyond current MCT oil and basic ketone supplements, potentially offering cognitive and physical performance benefits without requiring strict dietary adherence. Peptide therapies. Specific amino acid sequences that regulate various biological functions are becoming more accessible, with applications ranging from improved recovery and tissue repair to enhanced cognitive function and immune modulation. These innovations will likely democratize previously exclusive biohacking approaches, making sophisticated health optimization more accessible to mainstream audiences. Perhaps the most transformative development in biohacking will be the application of artificial intelligence to personal health data. Pattern recognition, AI systems capable of analyzing thousands of variables across biometric data, lifestyle factors, and environmental conditions will identify non-obvious correlations that human analysis would miss. Predictive modeling, machine learning algorithms will predict how individual bodies will respond to specific interventions based on comprehensive biomarker profiles and genetic data, dramatically reducing the trial and error aspect of biohacking. Personalized protocol design. AI coaches will eventually generate highly customized biohacking protocols optimized for individual biology, preferences, and constraints, continually refining recommendations based on measured outcomes. This convergence of extensive data collection with powerful AI analysis will transform biohacking from educated guesswork to precision engineering of human biology. As biohacking capabilities advance, important ethical considerations will come to the forefront. Access equity. How can we ensure that powerful health optimization tools don't exacerbate existing health disparities? The biohacking community will need to actively address accessibility concerns. Regulatory frameworks. Finding the balance between innovation and safety will require thoughtful regulation that protects consumers without stifling beneficial developments. Defining normal versus enhanced. As optimization becomes mainstream, society will grapple with philosophical questions about the nature of human enhancement and where to draw various boundaries. Responsible biohackers will engage with these broader implications while continuing to explore the expansive potential of intentional biology. Effective biohacking requires balancing scientific rigor with individual responsiveness. As we've explored throughout this guide, beginners should anchor their practice in foundational pillars: sleep hygiene, nutrient-dense nutrition, and progressive exercise before layering advanced modalities. The biohacking journey is inherently personal. What works remarkably for one individual may produce minimal results for another. This reality underscores the importance of self-experimentation, data tracking, and iterative refinement in developing your optimal approach. As quantified self-technologies become increasingly accessible, personalized health optimization will transition from speculative experimentation to data-driven lifestyle design. By adopting a measured, evidence-based approach, you can harness biohacking's potential to enhance both health span and lifespan, optimizing not just how long you live, but how well you live during those years. Whether you're just beginning to explore sleep optimization and basic nutritional strategies, or you're ready to advance to more sophisticated interventions, remember that consistency with fundamentals will always deliver greater returns than sporadic implementation of exotic techniques. The most valuable biohack may ultimately be the mindset shift from passive healthcare consumer to active health creator, taking informed responsibility for optimizing your own biology through careful experimentation and objective measurement. We've now completed our comprehensive journey through the world of biohacking, from foundational practices that everyone should implement to cutting-edge modalities that may shape the future of human performance and longevity. Remember that effective biohacking isn't about implementing every technique we've discussed. It's about strategically selecting and personalizing interventions that address your specific needs and goals. Start with the fundamentals. Optimize your sleep, refine your nutrition, and establish consistent movement practices before venturing into more advanced territory. The biohacking path is one of continuous learning and refinement. As you implement these strategies, pay close attention to both subjective experiences and objective measurements. Your body will provide valuable feedback if you're willing to listen and adjust accordingly. If you found this guide valuable, please subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based content on optimizing human performance and health. Leave a comment sharing which biohacking strategy you're most excited to implement or any questions you have about getting started. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of how to upgrade your health through science and self-experimentation. Until next time, this is Presenter Name, wishing you optimal health and extraordinary performance on your biohacking journey.